block is called Crown of Thorns. It's 12-inch finished. Here's the diagram. And we have 5 patches. The first one is a 3-inch finished square. We're going to cut 3.5-inch squares. And we'll need 4 patches of the background. If you have the 6-inch cube or the AccuQuilt, here are your dies you can use for this. Patch B is a 1.5-inch finished half square triangle. You cut 2 3/8-inch squares. Cut the square in half once diagonally, and you'll have 2 patches. You'll need 8 patches for the background and 8 patches for the dark fabric. And again, here is your AccuQuilt dies you can use if you're using AccuQuilt. Patch C is a 3-inch finished quarter square triangle. We'll cut our squares at 4 1/4 inches, cut in half diagonally twice, and we'll have 4 patches. We'll need 8 patches for the background. Patch D is a 3-inch finished half square triangle. We cut squares at 3 7/8 inches, cut them in half once diagonally for 2 patches. 8 patches for the medium fabric and 4 patches for the background fabric. And finally, the E patch is 4 1/4-inch finished square. This is the square in the middle. This is a square on point, or a square and square. We cut a square 4 3/4 inches, and we just need 1 patch for the block. Here are the fabrics I've chosen. I have a white tone-on-tone background, and I have a light and a dark fabric. How we're going to put this together, we're going to start with this unit here. Looks like a flying geese unit, but inside this part there's another flying geese, and it's filled in with some triangles. So these are going to be some smaller pieces we're doing, but this gives you your little thorn effect. Let's start by piecing the CBC, this flying geese unit. We're going to start with step number 1, and we're going to take 2 of the dark B patches and 1 of the C patches and make our flying geese unit. This is the smaller flying geese unit. And what I do, I stitch all of my pieces to one side, then I press that open, then I stitch the other side and press that open. So do that 4 times and you'll have 4 of the small flying geese. We have all of our small flying geese units made. And now we're on step 2, and we're going to sew a B patch on either side of this flying geese unit. It will look like this. And if you look at the diagram, the picture of step 2, I like to lay it out exactly as it looks in the picture. That way I'll know my angles are going the right way. So match your pieces to look like the picture, and then we'll sew 4 of these. Now we have these units made, and we're going to take a C patch and stitch it just like this, and then we'll have the triangle. So go ahead and stitch that. You'll have 4 of these, and we're also going to stitch, we're going to jump ahead to step 5 and sew the square and square in the center. We'll take the D patch and sew on opposite sides like this. Sew these together, press, and then come back and sew these at the top and bottom. And then press that. Now we have our little triangle units finished. When I sewed the C patch on and I was getting ready to press it, I ended up pressing it toward the C patch because it just did not want to go the other way. There's such a small distance here and all this fabric. It just wanted to go this way, so I pressed it that way, towards one side, towards the light fabric. And here is our square and square, and it's ready. Now the last thing we're going to do to this unit is, it's step 4, and we're going to sew D patches to either side. And we're going to make, it's kind of a modified flying geese unit. So here's the the sky part, and this is the geese part that we've already pieced. Go ahead and piece 4 of these, and then we'll put the block together. We have all of our units sewn. Now we'll just put them together. Square and a square, and the flying geese units go along the edges. And we fill in with the background squares. Now we'll just piece the block. When you piece this block together, you're going to have the 4 points on the square and square are going to match with the point of the flying geese. And you want to be sure you don't cut off any of these points. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And I've got the right sides together, so I want to match these two. What I'm going to do is find this point right here and put your pin right in that point. You can see that. It's right in that point. And now pick this up and put it right in this point. Now put them together. And if you look at it from the top, you see the pin is going straight. It's perpendicular. If I scooch this over some and the pin is now at an angle, that's not right. Your points will not match. So scooch it over till it's going straight, perpendicular to the fabric, and it's coming straight out of the fabric this way. And then just put it into the fabric like that. Now when you're sewing this together, you'll start here on this edge, stitch 1/4 inch, and you're going to aim right for this point where the pin went into the fabric. What I normally do is I start pulling this pin out a little bit, and then I'll just slow down a whole bunch and then stitch on it and take the pin out. You start stitching up here, 1/4 inch, and then just start aiming for this point where the pin goes in the fabric. Straighten out your edges, and then start aiming for 1/4 inch and stitch all the way off. And that will get you your points matching without being cut off, like this right here. Okay, that's what you want. Now let's finish this block. Thank you for watching.